What's up guys, Riley here, and today we're going to be checking out these brand new urgenex scx24 batteries. Welcome back to Farm Boy RC. Like I said in the intro, we're going to be checking out these new batteries. Thank you urgenex for sending these batteries over and sponsoring this video. I will look forward to working with you guys in a future video sometime, maybe. I've got a few trucks that I could run some more urgenex batteries in. But other than that, let's get into looking at these batteries. Alrighty, so as you can see, I kind of have it displayed out here. This package that I've got, the 450 milliamp hour battery pack, it's around $24, not counting tax and shipping. But you're going to get a thank you card, which is always nice. And then it consists of two batteries, two 450 milliamp hour batteries, which should supply you with a long run time, longer than the stock scx24 batteries at 350 milliamp hour. The next thing is, this battery, the 450 milliamp hour batteries, have more time in them, more runtime in them, but they're smaller than the stock batteries in both ways. As you can see, it's a little bit thicker, but truly not by much. It's kind of hard to show the thickness. As you can see there, it's not much thicker, and I think the urgenex weighs a little bit more, but yeah. Getting onto the plugs of these, you're going to have your standard scx24 plug, which is your pH 2.0. Then you're going to run they have the JST plug, which is the red one right there. And then you've got your balance cable. The really nice thing about these batteries is it comes with an outer case for your balance plug. And it's going to keep you from ripping the wires out of the plug piece, the actual end of it, and it's just going to be a lot easier to pull it in and out if you use a balance cable to charge your batteries. So that's really nice. So far, I mean, it seems pretty strong. I don't think you'll have to worry about breaking it or anything. It does come with a user manual for them, so that'll just keep you from burning your house down or RC truck down. So, yeah, let's go ahead. We're going to get these in the trucks, and then we're going to do a couple of tests. Alrighty, so here are the two trucks we're going to be running the 450 milliamp hour batteries in. This one here is a crawler, and this one is to tow things around. So this one, we're going to see how the battery does on the rocks, see how much power it provides the motor and servo. And then for this truck, we're going to do some sled pulling, and we're going to pull the trailer around a little bit and see how it does. Alrighty, so we've got the truck turned on, the battery in. Not a speed demon, but she's got plenty of power. So let's get on to the rock course. So automatically we got some wheel bind. Went through the hard way. No problem at all. There we go. Go back the other way. See how she does. Sometimes she tends to hang up, and see how she does with the new battery. Coming off of this bridge, you really gotta get it at the right line, or else you're gonna bind up really bad. Got it in the perfect line. There's no problem pushing over. There we go. So obviously I'm trying to slow crawl. We'll see how the slow crawl is with this new battery. So I'm still running a brushed motor. I have a Endura 50 turn, 50 can, so it's the purple motor. So, and we're running V1 electronics. So it's not super terrible. Come back and do it. I'm gonna try and get like a constant. There we go. So not a super bad slow crawl with this battery. But like I said, I'm still running a brushed setup with the V1 electronics, and those of you that know, the brush setup is best on the V2 electronics. Since we're out here, I want to show you guys a line that this battery helps this truck hit. Sometimes it flips over, I just have to get the right line and it just pulls right on through. It's a pretty vertical line. There we go. So she had no problem. She didn't bog down. She didn't feel stressed at all. So far, so good. It's an awesome battery so far. Let's go ahead and move on to the pulling truck and the pulling sled, and we'll get into the specifics when we get there. Alright, so we're over here with the pulling truck. This truck has some different modifications. Obviously, it's a different truck. We're running a Mofo RC 50 can buzzsaw. And it's a pretty good little motor. Let's see how much power this battery has to offer for this motor. So we're going to be pulling a kind of rigged sled here. It's just a gas can that I cut up so that we can put some weights in it. We're going to be putting these sticks, 70, I think they were around 95 grams a piece. So we're running around 570 grams in this sled. The weight does not move, it's stationary, where in a real sled, the weight would start in the back and move up to the front. So we're going to hook this strap up, and then we'll get to pulling. Alright, so we got her hooked up with all 6 weights, 570 grams, and let's see how she does. The track's cleaned off. 3, 2, 1, go. That motor is really whining. Which is really surprising. Usually I'll have a little bit of bog in it, pulling the 570 grams, which is actually amazing that you can somewhat hear a difference in the motor. And we'll pull it back, and we're going to do 2 more tests. Alright, I pulled it back. Same stuff in it. We're going to do 2 more tests. So test number 2. 3, 2, 1. So that motor is winding up all the way like it needs to. So that means it's giving enough power, and it's not bogging down as much, at least as much as the stock scx24 battery. Let's pull it back, and we're going to do round 3. We're going to start off slow and slowly speed up and see how she does. Alright, we lined up 2 times. It's our 3rd time. Like I said, we're going to start slow and speed up, and just see how it handles it. So here we go. Full throttle. Full pull. Alright, so every time we had a full pull, we are going to test one more thing. It's probably dangerous to test this because it's going to put a lot of stress on the vehicle, but we're going to do it anyways, so let's get to it. Alright, so we're on the other end of the track. I've got all 6 weights on the truck, and we've got a brick in the sled. I don't think it'll pull it. It usually doesn't. We're just going to see how much the motor bogs down, see if it'll handle it. We lost our weights, so... And we unhooked. She was trying, she kept going, surprisingly. We're going to put the weights back on, see if they'll stay on just a little bit longer. Hopefully they do, because it was actually starting to pull it, surprisingly. Alright, now that we're hooked up, I didn't even move the truck. Let's see if we can slowly go without losing the weights. I don't think it's gonna do it. We'll back it up and see if we can get a little more traction. As you can see, there's a lot of weight on the truck because those tires are really wrinkling. Looks like they're falling to the side, so I'm going to move them over the other way. She's pulling. As you can see, she's trying. She's not going to get it, which doesn't surprise me. We don't have enough weight on this truck to do that. But as you can see, it's pulling a ton of weight, and that motor is trying. It's like the little engine that could. So, there we go. Let's get inside. We're going to do a little bit more talking with the batteries and just kind of explain a few things. Alright, so after a ton of driving with the rock crawler and the urgenex battery, I think I got a little over 45 minutes of runtime, which is a ton of time for something like this. I found myself, when crawling, I was like, man, when is this thing going to give out? But it just kept going, and so far, I really like these batteries. Like I said, I ran probably around a little over 45 minutes in this one little battery, which is amazing. $25 maybe for 2 of these. That's just a big plus. So I've thought of a few things that I'm going to go over that I kind of like and don't like about the battery. Number one, it's got a great runtime, 45 plus minutes. I'm running brushed, so if you're running a brushless system, you should get a little more time out of that because it's going to have less current going to the motor because the motor doesn't need as much current. It's a nice compact design. It's smaller than the older battery, which is really nice, but it's heavier. I really like that it's a little bit heavier, not by a bunch, but you can still tell between the two that one's heavier. I really like that because I have my battery set up all the way in the front right here. And that battery being heavier is going to help me put more weight on the front end to do better vertical climbing. One problem I do have with the motor, or not motor, sorry, the batteries, and I think this is probably the only problem as hard as I've thought about it. The plug is a little short. And what I mean by that is for this scx24 battery, the old one, it's got a pretty long lead on it, where this one is not quite as long. It's about a ½ inch to an inch shorter. Probably around 3/4 of an inch shorter, which really bums me out because I run the battery up front and my ESC is all the way in the back. Luckily, I do have a rubber band that holds it in, so it kind of helps it stretch. But it stretches it all the way out, and I don't really like that because I don't want to rip the wires out. So when I put the motor or the battery in, it looks more like this. See how it's pulling on that one side? So that kind of sucks. Other than that, it's got a great discharge rate. It's got so much power. There were a lot of situations where I found less binding in the motor and, throughout the whole truck. Luckily, I've got metal drive shafts. I don't have metal internals on my transmission or anything, but everything held up surprisingly because it got in some pretty tight spots. I didn't get a ton of videoing. I tried to make this video short, but other than that, I think this is an awesome battery. One for competition use because it's small, it's compact. It shouldn't mess up with, or it shouldn't mess up your rig at all in terms of weight distribution. Just because it's a little bit heavier. But yeah, they're nice and inexpensive. They have a ton of runtime, and they're definitely worth the $25. So, after talking about this battery, I want to thank urgenex again for sending over these batteries. I look forward to getting some more sponsorships with them. Maybe try a battery in my high boxing truck. If you haven't checked the video out, check it out, please. It'll be on my YouTube channel somewhere. But other than that, like and subscribe. Hit that like button so that we can get my content up onto YouTube, more recommended, just to kind of help the channel out. Hit that subscribe button and notification button so that you can see new updates on new trucks, new builds, any new videos that I've got out. But yeah, other than that, I'll see you guys in the next video.